Hi, I'm Peter and welcome to All About Filipina Relationships, the channel for foreign guys looking for a relationship with a Filipina or for those guys already in such a relationship. Many will tell you that Filipinas will only love foreign men because it's their chance to escape the Philippines and lead a better life in your country once she gains citizenship. And yes, no doubt that some Filipinas do this, but for most Filipinas seeking a foreign man, the truth is very different. So if you want a dose of reality and the truth, be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. Why is it just because you have a woman from a developing country and a man from a developed country who commence a relationship together, people always put down the woman, saying that she can't possibly love the man? And I'm not just talking about age gap relationships here, but any such relationship, yes, even those who are closer together in age. This stereotype is ingrained in many people's mind, and for those people where ignorance is bliss and seemingly it's hard for them to discover the truth, they continue to spread very hurtful lies to whoever will listen. So sit back and open your mind while I tell you what I've found out from speaking to hundreds of foreign guys and Filipinas, both here in Australia where I live, in the Philippines, and through my Facebook page and online consulting service over the past several years. Now, I know that some people will tell me here that what I convey in this video are only my own experiences, and they've had different experiences. And yes, they'd be correct in saying this. But because of this channel over the past 4 years, I've had the opportunity to speak to so many foreign guys and Filipinas to gain a much broader understanding on many topics around relationships between foreign guys and Filipinas. So I'm not only using my own insignificant individual experiences in what I say around such topics and discussions, but also from hundreds of such people and couples' experiences. But still, I know some people will disagree with what I'm about to tell you here, and that's fine, as I've certainly learnt that as a YouTube creator you can't and won't please everyone. Besides, telling the truth as I've found it is the most important thing for me, rather than gaining subscribers. Now let me start by saying, as I've said many times before, that not all Filipinas are the same. Simply, we can never lump all into one category. So use your own common sense and do due diligence when commencing a relationship with a Filipina to ensure you don't have problems further down the track. What genuine Filipinas are looking for in foreign men, and indeed why they fall in love with foreign men, and yes, this includes older men, is something many Filipinas may struggle to find in their own country. Now in a way, they're not that much different to us foreign guys who go searching overseas for a woman to share our life with, because many of us can't find a loving, caring and committed woman in our own country. Now, of course, it goes without saying that there are some very decent Filipino men in the Philippines. So again, what I say here is not a slant against all Filipino men, but there does seem to be a strong trend which is pushing many Filipinas into seeking love abroad. When I ask Filipinas why they look for men abroad and not a Filipino in our own country, nearly always I get the same responses, which is they're not serious about commitment in a relationship. Many Filipinas will tell me stories of how these guys just seem like they don't want to grow up and be in an adult relationship. It often starts off that they'd rather spend more time with their friends, hanging out whilst drinking and smoking, whilst the Filipina is left at home and expected to stay there and not go out and hang with her friends. It seems to me like this is a rather big double standard many of these Filipinas are reporting. And then they'll tell me that many of these younger Filipino males don't want to marry them and they're happy just to live with these Filipinas. Now this one I do understand, as marriage isn't for everyone, and especially so, I do get that in a country where there's no divorce, why many guys would be reluctant to get married. What was even more concerning to me is many Filipinas told me stories around getting pregnant to a Filipino man, only to find that she became almost a single mother whilst in a supposed committed and serious adult relationship. The guy still wanted to spend most of his time with his friends hanging out, and any protest by the Filipina was met with anger, or he just never listened and took her concerns seriously. Now, for those Filipino men who married a Filipina and had a baby or two, where the Filipina felt like she had her own family, much disappointment and hurt was to follow. Whilst not all Filipino men do this, it certainly is reasonably common in the Philippines. And that is, they'll take on a mistress where then the Filipina will have to share her husband with another woman. Sometimes these guys will hide the fact that they have a mistress or two from his wife, but more commonly he'll tell his wife that this is how it will be, and she has to like it or she can go. Now, if you think it all seems rather harsh and cruel for the Filipina, you'd be right, as many of these Filipinas struggle to overcome the emotional side of things, and it becomes harder for her to trust men again. Now just stop for a moment and put yourself in such a Filipina's position and tell me, if you had this happen to you once or even twice, would you not be looking towards another country or culture to find true love in a serious, committed relationship? I'm sure most of us would. And Filipinas often hear about how serious and committed many foreign guys are around relationships, especially those a little older or maybe even a lot older. And so they start to get curious and see if she can find out for herself if there's any real possibility of finding a man who will love and care for her and only her for the rest of their lives. You see, on the whole, Filipinas are very family orientated, and for many, having their own family is so very important. Simply put, this is a big deal for so many Filipinas. If they can find a man who will be serious towards her and the relationship, where she believes she can have happiness within her own family and relationship, then that becomes her top priority on the list of what she's looking for in a man. Yes, contrary to some people's belief, money is not her main priority here, nor is having a partner who's more close to her age, or for that matter, how the person looks. He could be around her age, but rather unattractive, or he could be much older, balding and overweight, and certainly no pretty picture to look at. But her number one priority is finding a man with a good heart who wants a Filipina, and only one Filipina, to share his life with. Now, the next time you see a Filipina with a much older man, or a stunning looking Filipina with a guy who's really rather unattractive, now you have more insight into what she's looking for in a foreign guy and why they may be together. And look, if the foreign guy just happens to also have some money and is rather set up in life, then good luck to the Filipina for improving her life also. After all, wouldn't we all want that for ourselves if we could? I'm interested to hear your respectful thoughts and or experiences in the comments below. And if you'd like more information and tips around dating a Filipina, then be sure to check out the card appearing on screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.